CW efficient.
Oh, that's
Still.
why the Claude pick. I guess that's also why Mirko likes it so much.
Your
You
team
can
is
farm so efficiently, right?
So
Right?
adaptive, so dynamic.
To live.
So many
is
ways,
to trick.
so fluid. But yes,
So great.
yes, stacks to, what's the word, Mirko, when you make something even better?
Improve?
Augment, something like that. You can,
We're losing our words here,
yes.
ladies and
You
gentlemen,
can
on the English
make the farming
broadcast.
so much better with the stacks, and you can move around the map to look for more farm even faster than the carry can on the Claude, and that is something that CW uses to its utmost potential. But in the drafting phase, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy, it's gonna be Geek. First pick again.
They haven't swapped sides here. Joy, Novaria, gonna be the choice of ban. We have Matilda, Nolan, Faramis is the change, as well as Guinevere.
Yeah.
And that does leave open one hero.
CC. From
Yeah.
game 1.
Vexana.
CC, carry, but they still go for Ruby. 2 games in a row.
So, do we want to lock in our predictions for a Claude and Arlet? Or Claude and CC?
Claude, CC maybe.
Claude CC, let's see. Claude Vexana.
Oh,
it.
that's what he said. That's why he's the
Because
analyst.
it's so good. I'm surprised no one picked it up in the game
Game
one.
one, yeah.
Even though it wasn't banned, it wasn't picked up. But now with the Vexana, with the Claude, if they're trying to go for the same kind of strategy, right? Like the dance, the split-second decisions, this Vexana is going to be such a huge problem. You're always at the right place at the right time because you clear so easily. If someone gets taken out, you might take out your team with you because of the passive. And of course, 2 solid sources of crowd control. I'm a big fan of crowd control, man. That's why Vexana, I think, is one of the best mid laners right now.
Okay, with that being said, and talking about crowd control, we have an Arlet being picked up by Geek as well as a carry once again. So they're going to double down on this carry and Claude lane. Onic, meanwhile, with the last pick, they went in for Fredrin for Kyrie last time. I hope they're going to flex him a little bit out for the second phase. What do you think he should take here? Lilia, maybe, for Onic? Oh, wait, Vexana already.
Yeah, they already have Vexana. I think they can go for a flex pick into the XP lane if they want. I mean, picking up an XP would just be pretty solid if they want a safer option. They could just go for the Barats in the jungle right now, knowing that the carry is still going to hurt him a lot. Safest pick, I guess, would be that Fredrin. I was thinking the Barats for the anti-CC up against a whole lot of CC from the side of Geek. You know, the Arlet, the Ruby, it's going to be really good for the setups early in the neutral objective department, but the sustain. The sustain is something that you need, and Fredrin grants you that sustain.
So speaking of CC, right? I do wonder if they're going to pick up the CC or ban it away. For Onic, though, they're banning with the Lilia, one of the only heroes, along with the Novaria, that can really match that kind of wave clear that the Vexana does bring to the table. And along with that, I think that a hero that can do a lot of kiting will be potentially beneficial for Onic because of how Geek has been playing. Of course, they have no Faramis this time, but it seems like with the Arlet and with the Ruby, they're going to be playing in a similar way. So I thought the X-Borg would make an appearance. We'll see if that actually comes through.
Tigreal is well banned out with the X-Borg now. They have... This does seem like that means they are going to be going for a tanky lineup. Very front to back kind of composition with the X-Borg band there. They're trying to stop any sort of addition into that frontline melter.
Of course, the kiting especially, right, it's just going to be so efficient. And the second life, right, that the Firaga armor provides to you, when you're playing a carry, that single target, right, someone being able to just stand in the front, knowing that, okay, all those flying basic attacks won't take you out in the fadeaway is definitely something that they don't want Onic to take advantage of. But Onic will take away the Grok, so now they're the ones with the barriers, right? Technically a solid source of lockdown if you don't have any gap closers. And of course, the wild charge can be massive in the right situations.
I'm so confused. What's the last ban for Onic? Is it Faramis? No. It's Valentina. Is it Valentina?
Yeah, apologies again, ladies
Okay,
and
it's
gentlemen.
Valentina.
It is Valentina.
Yeah. Just to confirm, the last ban for Onic is Valentina. They're trying to limit the choices here for a boy in the mid lane with the Faramis taken out. They're gonna go for a Barrett and a Nana. All
Let's go.
right, that's the debut of Nana. Personally, as a Nana player, I'm very happy to see it on the competitive stage. But Onic will come back and answer that with a Yuzong last pick.
Wow, a lot of dive, good laner against the Arlet, but it's gonna be the Ruby in the XP. Yo, Rashi, why haven't we seen Nana at all? Like, this is the first Nana pick / ban of Season 13.
I think the Nana became a bit more vulnerable once they removed the movement speed buff when you turn into the Molina, right? That means that you're invulnerable, but then you're very easily caught up. So it only really works when your team isn't planning on moving backwards, right? And that is exactly what I think Geek fam are looking at. They want the crowd control, they want the AoE damage to match up Onic in those big team fights, but they don't plan on hiding backwards the same way Onic does. So this is going to be, once again, a forward-moving composition. And looking at the ratings of this time, Onic is winning on most of the fronts. Is this a sign, Mirko?
Let's see if it is a sign. We're gonna see the wings of freedom of MPL Indonesia in Season 13. Garuda! That's our national bird. As he takes us into the LOD, the Land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Can the Porcupine spike down the Big Geek Boys? Or will the Big Geek Boys come back and force a third game from the Porcupines? Or will we have to delay it just a bit? Because climax, we have to wait, you know, just like the movie, Dune 1, Dune 2, we gotta wait for Dune 3.
All
I
right.
haven't watched Dune 2.
Same, haven't even watched Dune 1 properly.
What? It's so good.
Is it?
May your blade
But-
chip and shatter. Whoa.
Anyway,
I have no idea what that means.
Anyway, what Mirko is trying to say, with big games and good games, we need suspense,
Right. I mean,
right?
good things
We're
come.
building suspense
Good things comes to those who wait.
Yeah. So we get a tour
of the Land of Dawn.
of the Land of Dawn. As you can
Here
see
we
here,
are.
this is the base. This is where people spawn in the game.
Okay, and then where are we going now?
Well, we're going
turret.
to the top lane.
What's the name of the
Whoa,
creep there?
whoa, what?
What's the name of the creep?
Which creep?
That creep.
This is the Barong.
Saved by the bell. Dear, dear Mirko.
Belt by
Like
the
Tyson
saves.
Fury.
That's a very specific reference, Mirko.
All right.
I don't think the Bakiro in the game, so I'm not sure if we can do that. But man, the Yuzong in the hands of Boots is really growing into that dive role here. That's usually a playstyle we see Luke do, but now against Luke, Boots is stepping up, trying to do the exact same thing.
Because they do need an answer, right, to the back line of Geek Fam. I think yesterday, was it yesterday when Luke picked up the Yuzong? I think people
Yeah,
were
he
like,
did.
oh, Yuzong,
Against
not
Bigatron.
meta, bad
Against
ESB.
Brody.
There you go. But, like, it was still really good.
I mean,
It's a really good dive.
Black Dragon form, Patrify. The fact that you can be dominant in the lane and still have a lot of pressure in the team fights,
Yeah,
I think that's what
it.
really makes a good EXP laner. That's a pattern you see with the Lapu Lapu. Technically, it's a pattern you see with the CC as well. It's all these heroes that can be solid in the lane, can be aggressive, win the 1v1 duels, survive 1v2 ganks even, have good mobility, but even in the fight, have AoE crowd control maybe, or tankiness enough for you to actually be a main frontline.
And also damage, right? I guess it depends on the enemy composition.
Yes.
If you're going against something like a Nana, I think Yuzong's pretty good.
It's pretty good against dive. I think they want to try to bait out, you know, these passives so that the extra follow-up damage will
Yeah.
be able to just execute these dudes. With the Claude already picked up the Vixana as well, and the Yuzong that can dive. They have multi-layering damage and CC.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. What I'm quite curious about is whether or not Sans will go for the build that usually people tell us is used by him in game, because that's usually the Demon Shoes into Enchanted Talisman into
Oh.
a fleeting time, right? So you can spam out those skills, go for the pickoffs, and then get your ultimate off cooldown. But whoa, wait a minute.
Very utility. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going straight back into the game here. 30 seconds has elapsed. And we are going to see whether or not Sans goes for the normal build or his special build. Game number 2 of this best of this series between Onic as well as Geek Fam.
I'm gonna be careful and take a look at Boots' emblem, man. It's a Quantum Charge, not a Brave Smite. So in the lane, less sustained, but afterwards, he's gonna be a menace just chasing down the backline. As Onic can secure the lethal right there, already a small victory that usually does add up. And you can see the clear battle has begun. And I do think Vexana is just top tier in that department.
And looking at the other side, right? A boy on the Nana goes for the Flicker. So despite all the CC coming in from Onic, He's still confident enough to go in for that spell, but Hazel's confident in this.
Oh, nom nom nom. Detonus welcome Hazel. First blood picked up by Samsung Galaxy. What a great gank there.
Great awareness from Hazel to just hold on and channel that ultimate. Wait for Boots to really use all his cards and then go in. Kyrie though try and counter with the aggression, but nothing really big happening just yet. Looking at the mid lane, Gold taking magic penetration boots. They're trying to get for some early damage here. Might be contesting for this turtle. I do think it does favor Onic though. Geek might want to be a bit careful here.
I think it comes down to that level 4 power spike, right? Boots is a bit behind Kyrie though. A good gang into the Petrified Furious dive, but Luke is still able to actually flicker out. Did he get the tough boots already? Yeah, he did. Wow. Super fast tough boots to get out of that position of the CC.
But here we are, both of the junglers going to be getting their eyes on the next neutral objective. Turtle, half health.
Black Dragon form into the back, no Petrified for Boots. He is doing a good job at zoning, and my goodness, Sanchez deletes Beloyski, but Kyrie is very, very low. Has to reset the turtle. It's a nom-nom up with the Detonus welcome, but Keyboy gets spat out now with the power of nature. He wants to go for a big smack onto Hazel, a wall as well. And the tree wins out against the dinosaur.
Beautiful execution by Onic there. Gonna be able to zone out the members of Geek Fam as well as get Hazel out of the board completely, even though Kyrie was already very low on health in that earlier parts of the game.
The two big fighters, man, Fredrin and Yu Zhong, is just such a nightmare, especially when you just hit level 4. That Black Dragon form definitely scattered Geek Fam away. And even though Kyrie was so low, it was looking a bit sketchy there for just a bit, but his team was able to just zone everyone out. And like we mentioned earlier, looking at some of the emblems here, is Concussive Blast for Kyrie in the jungle. More clear on these tanky fighting heroes these days. And for Boots, the Quantum Charge, but still, the Rupture for more damage and the Festival of Blood for a decent amount of sustain. So trying to get some movement speed and a mix of sustain at the same time.
Walled, oh my god, not just walled. Beloyski got deleted. That's a whole lot of burst, man. Oh my god. Did not expect that damage.
You know what? Yeah, I was about to say, I think Sans is going for the cooldown build because we took a look at the emblems and it wasn't Wilderness Blessing as the second sub emblem, and then you saw just now that he picked up the Enchanted Talisman, so it's a Vexana Sans special.
We'll see if he goes to the fleeting time, because sometimes they go for the Enchanted Talisman into a glowing one. That's a popular build that a lot of players in the MPL, especially MPL ID, has been building so far. So we'll see if he builds through with that. But for now, Onic has a lot of damage, a lot of crowd control, and sometimes we barely get to finish our sentences before someone from Geek Fam gets sniped out. Especially now that their roamer doesn't really have an escape tool, they have to be very careful here, especially walking towards the bushes.
Okay, let's take a look at the players' gold here. CW still #1 on the charts, followed by Sans. Chadera a bit behind in that lane. That was supposedly a winning lane for the carry.
Almost like CW just learned from game #1, and now he knows, okay, I can't win in trades, maybe I'll farm somewhere else, I do something different, and he's really working well in this second game as the turtle spawns. Once again, Onic try and control, but look at the flank coming from Beloyski here, puts Onic in a weird spot.
Look at the burst down though, Boy's already super low, and Boots is flying on the way to him under the turret as well. Has the passive, gets up, but Kyrie wins out in the retreat battle. Beloyski, what 1v4 in the mid lane, no follow-up. There is a wild charge, oh no! The Nana gets deleted under the turret, and now it might be even more bleak as Luke is forced to flicker out. Another burst damage coming down from CW, but he's still able to sustain out with the Brave Smite. My lord, Onic just takes control of the situation with every single small mistake the Geek Fam makes.
Darren needs to be careful there in the bottom lane for a rotation, but can you imagine the physics of the wild charge into a Nana? That must hurt.
Yeah, he's so much bigger, man. I'm surprised it even lands. Considering how small the Nana is. Like Keyboy, he doesn't care, man. He knows he lands those. And now Geek, if you're a boy right here, you gotta be so concerned, man, because you thought that, okay, they used one ultimate for me, there's no way they use one more, right? But that's exactly what Onic just does. And as Geek try and go for another pickoff here, they seem to be severely limited by the movement speed, man. They're no longer as mobile, especially Hazel on the Barats. He was able to secure his own red against Kyrie earlier, but he is just struggling to be in the right spot right here in every single fight.
What's his level now? Level 8 compared to Kyrie at 9. So he's not as
Successful?
maneuvery. Is that a word? Maneuvery? Okay,
Maneuvery?
successful.
Let's go with that. Maneuver.
As he was on the Martis in the first game. But look at this, Kyrie looking to punish Beloyski.
Oh no, he's already died 3 times. The final
Oh.
slash, and he just gets bopped by Sans. 4th death this game. Ranger Amas in the Indo desk would usually be saying, "What are you doing, Baloy?"
I mean, it's brutal, right? 6 minutes in, only almost 7, but it's already a 1-7. A 3,000 gold gap in the first 7 minutes of the game. CW was doing good under pressure, and when he was dominated by Chidera, but look at him now. He's getting the towers on the bottom side. He's getting to that power spike much, much quicker than in game number 1. Geek, they're losing control over this entire game.
The foot is definitely on the other shoe, man. But now for Onic, they're going to go for the objective as always. Calm, clean, calculated. And Geek is just nowhere near ready to try and get anything here. And they let it go. There's not much they can do as Boots picks up the War Axe as well. Even more ways for Onic to just chase them and run down Geek under the safety of their own turrets and base.
And that's a problem. Like, what are they supposed to do, right? If they want to go for a 50-50, they're already, what, 4K behind? And obviously Hazel is behind on levels as well against Kyrie. I guess that's something great, but
A failed attempt of an initiation. Beloyski with a flicker, final slash earlier, not connecting CW now. Just chunking damage, Beloy very low. Luke doing the same thing right now, trying to run away, but Boots catches him, finds the passive. Daytona's welcome into the mouth, but now it's Hazel. It's caught the wild charge with a flicker to the back. Finds a boy. Flickers back to safety, and now it's Chidera who's forced to run away. Sans wants to get that Terrify down. He finds the Terrify. No Eternal Guard, just a bit more poke, and Chidera will be able to walk out of this, but the turrets in the mid lane certainly won't be able to.
2-4-0 trade, a turret taken down. Onic getting everything that they asked for here in game number 2, and it's not necessarily them going out of their way. It's the counter-engage that they've been able to successfully do against Geek Fam's failed attempts time and time again.
They just have more options, right? If they fail their engage, they have chances to do something else, just like that. But even if it works, then great. If it doesn't work, they have the Wild Charge, they have the Black Dragon form, so a lot of flexibility in how they approach these fights. And you can see a boy just struggling, man. We thought this Nana pick was going to be big with the Molina, with the crowd control, but he is struggling to figure out when and where he's supposed to use these spells.
And according to the game fun fact, if Geek Fam actually lose this, they're gonna still, Nana is still gonna be sitting at a 0% win rate since MPL ID season, what, 10? 8? Wow, that sucks.
2021.
Man,
Throwback.
throwback. Well, Eterna, by the way, we have our answer. It's a Lightning Truncheon into possibly a going one here. Sans is going for all that damage, all the burst, knowing that for the most part, he's not targeting the front lines, right? CW has that on lock. He's targeting the back lines. He's trying to get that burst damage to help with the pick-off potential, with the threat. So, Lightning Truncheon it is. And Geek are just stuck turtling, even though, honestly, they don't really have the best of high ground wave clear either. So they are just stuck waiting for a chance that Onic just is not giving to them.
So still respectful. No fleeting time
Nope,
from Sans.
not yet at least.
Not yet, at least.
You never
Right as
know.
their momentum got derailed in game 1, it almost feels like they completely lost like their mental game, man. Game 2, it just feels like a stomp, and it feels like maybe they're tilted again. Luke, I think, has missed more
Didn't see that.
offenders than he has hit this game so far. Beloy, the one big brain play could save them. It did get Sans, and oh my god, a boy with a flicker forward. 0-5-0. Beloy.
Is he waiting for that buff? We'll have to see, man.
0-10 power spike.
But a boy, man, that's a lot of damage on the Nana. That's why it's somewhat valid, and Sans just wasn't ready right there. Now without the Vexana, will Onic still try and make something happen? It is possible, it's just a lot risky, but they back away.
Yeah, that's going to be the Lord cleared out here by Geek Fam with minor casualties, you can say. It looked like Chidera picked up the Golden Staff and CW finally with the Malefic Roar. Between these two carries from both of the teams, where is it leaning towards more?
Who's doing more damage in the fights?
Who will be, yes.
Who will be? I believe it's still going to be CW, but when it comes to the the moments before the fight breaks out. That's where Sans really shines, man. And I feel like, me personally, I don't think the Vexana is used mainly for damage. The damage is always very, very nice. But the utility, like when you put down the Eternal Guard, when you try and go for the Terrifies, that is what really makes a Vexana pick that much more effective.
Yeah, the utility coming in from Sans, right? Which is why maybe that's why he sees the Enchanted Talisman a little bit more valuable as compared to going full out damage. But here, if you guys play and you guys find lag, don't forget to use the max booster. Because I hate lag. Do you hate lag?
I hate lag, man. Maximize your connection with Game Max, and also maximize your time. Make it efficient. That's the word that Eterna really likes earlier. With the 15,000 discount with Click Indomart, you can just click Indomart 15 and click your groceries very easily.
And improve your finances.
That's what Geek are trying to do right now. They're trying to use all the promo codes that they have to try to get out of this debt. 8,000.
It's a big debt.
Well, they need to be energized first, so it starts with coffee. Go get your point, coffee. That's the point.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Well, we'll see, but you know, another big
7
issue.
out of 10.
7 out of 10? Well, a big issue for Geek right now, by the way, is usually the Molina is a great deterrent tool. You can leave it on the ground, people walk away from it, they can't really check. But since Onic has the Grok, right, he can just walk through it and ignore it. So it's almost like one extra tool denied from Geek. And you can see a boy as Luke and Beloyski just look for a chance to try and start a fight properly, right, without paying the price of a huge counter engage or half an HP bar, for instance.
This is so risky. But here we go.
Well, charged Luke, gonna be knocked up and terrified down. Sans bursts him out, and even Beloyski follows through with 6 death in this game right now as Boots is just zoning a boy in Chadera, isolating the dinosaur. No, they're already extinct, and still they want to take him out. A killing spree for Kyrie. 3-0 in the trade.
And there's absolutely no way that Geek Fam can go for a contest on this. I mean, it was already looking bleak to begin with. Hazel 2 levels behind of Kyrie. But Onic had to pull that out behind the engage that Keyboy was able to make. That's going to be a free Lord for Onic in the 13th, 14th minute of the game.
A clean engage. He didn't even use the flicker there. I thought it was going to be an attempt towards the backline, but no, he just thought, if I can get 2 members, just 2 members, I can make sure that the fight does break out and we can get at least a pick off. And I think that he went for it so suddenly, so urgently, because the wave was pushing on the top side. Onic did lose a turret, but off the back of that sequence of plays, they have made it completely worth it. And with the Lord marching down right now, take a look at the items where a boy's Nana has that Divine Glaive power spike. He's going to have a lot of burst damage, but he needs to find ways for the spells to land, right? Wait for a setup, and Onic is making it very difficult for that to happen.
Definitely. I think range is a little bit of a problem for Nana, especially going against these heavy engage heroes like Keyboy on the Grok, so that's difficult. I mean, look at that, a boy half health.
Beloyski though finds Sans, brought him back all the way. Now a few shots with the Nana, he's actually very low, but he's still able to maneuver out of it. Concealed now by Geek over to that bottom lane, trying to deal with this Lord that has charged in. It's a great defense from Geek Fam, still staying in this game. Another wave to deal with though now as Onic marches forward again, this time with the Black Dragon form. They've already utilized a lot of their resources, Geek Fam. Luke still on cooldown, but now finally getting it back with that Ammo Fended that he missed earlier on CW. And it's still Geek Fam actually doing a very good job at clearing. Well played to the Geeks.
Well, now it gets interesting. They're at an 11 close to 12k gold difference earlier, and still they're unable to crack through the base of Geek. And we know the longer the game goes, this is exactly where at least Geek used to prefer to be in, right? They can defend the base, hold as long as possible, have good high ground technically with the Nana, and they're willing to just stall this out and let Onic take some objectives in order to just get a chance later on, waiting for the right window to turn the tides around.
How? What window though? Onyx, they're not, look at that, they're not leaving anything open. Luke misses another engage. It's fine, but what can Geek Fam do at this point? Sans makes it even worse by picking up Blood Wings on top of all that damage already.
They have to wait for a big combo with the Nana, but look at Boots, man, just trying to zone, but even then, the waves gets cleared so fast.
Oh. Defensive wild charge from Onic. I think it's a good point that you made. They need to find a window, but right now they're locked up in their base. It's almost like a prison cell, and there are no windows in a prison cell.
I wouldn't know.
Does that mean I should, like...
Interesting, Mirko. What kind of experience do you have?
I've never been to prison, but I've watched movies, man.
I see. That's a
I thought
great
there were
point.
like small windows in prisons.
Not
Yeah, and I wouldn't
outside.
know. I wouldn't know. But anyway, still a 12K
He's not a
gold
convict,
lead.
guys.
I am not. Arashi is also not.
What do you... Wait. What?
That would be weird.
I feel left out here. What do you mean? You guys aren't. Am I a convict here?
Might be. The Lord now is spawning, so Onic, they crafted put Boots in a position to flank. We'll see if that pays off right here. This is what they want though. Geek them out of the base, and now they're going for it with a conceal.
Oh, boy.
Dragon form, and oh! That's a 3-man! Final slash, not able to be followed up completely, though CW gets stunned in the back, but it's not going to be enough right now as Bloisky jumps in with the vengeance right now. The transform, oh, CW's low into nature, popped in just in time. The Eternal Guard to peel, Bloisky falling, Boots with a 2-man on that furious dive, knocks him up. Now brought back by the missiles, Chidera holding it down, terrified, and poked in that choke point. Luke is able to get the vision down, and apparently the Lord has been reset. CW's back on it though with Kyrie. 1-4-0, but Onic had lower HP bars. They have to send some of their members back again, and now it's a reset for that Lord.
Kyrie's half health here. It looks like he's getting that healing back up. 13 seconds left for Beloyski to spawn. And look at this, they're trying to blitz a Lord.
Black Dragon form now with a wild charge on the 2 members and an Eternal Guard to knock him up even longer. 2 retributions, but it's Kyrie who times it better. And in the Lord pit, it is Hazel who falls in the back. It is a boy. Chidera is forced back, dashes out to safety. Beloy pops in that conceal, and they are alone. 2 members now having to face 5 members from Onic and a Lord.
Against all odds, against the entire world here, Beloyski and Chidera, the final ones. It looks like CW is going to be able to break that inhibitor in the bottom side, but what?
A final slash, a desperate one of that as Chidera pops in over nature. He's able to get CW low enough, the mortality, but now he gets knocked up while down, and that should be it. Geek Fam clean swept by Onic in their rematch.
Wow. In the grand finals, it was